Hello and welcome once again to Crypto Corner. I'm your host, Greg Harriman, and we are hoping you're having a great crypto time right now. Obviously, the markets have been really good. Everything that we thought was going to happen is kind of happening. We think that we've updated our process so that we think that instead of that 3 or 4 times our money or 2 to 3 times, we're more going to be in the 10 to 15 times because everything is hitting and we staked and we did all kinds of other things. So we're really happy. We hope that you're happy. This is obviously not financial advice. This is the Wild West, and it could all fall apart at any time. Black Swan event, World War III, it all could be blown up in our faces. However, in the meantime, hopefully you're taking some profits and you're doing what you need to do. I like showing this just so that you see where has Bitcoin been in its having rallies, and we are right in the middle of this thing. So the only thing I will say about this is expect pullbacks. Those are going to be natural, and we shouldn't be totally scared of them. We should know that they're coming, and that's why we're gonna look at a couple examples of how to take profits along the way, and then put that money back in. We made the green box. That's when we started to take off. That was the green box was about 180 days in. We're about 210 days in now, and we're in a pretty good spot. But we think that we just have a lot higher to go, and that we should be taking profits along the way. I threw out these are the phases, and I threw out where we think some of these are going to be that we look at on a regular basis. So hopefully you can take a quick screenshot of this and then buckle up for where we're going. Every week we show this. You'll see this week what I did is look at some of these numbers, like on Sol. Again, we had some that we had bought at 16, but then we bought back in at 133. And then we said we were going to sell at 170, and then it just started really clicking, so we decided not to. So we're holding out for 300 at this point. And we think that there's plenty of other ones that are in the same boat. But at some point, you'll want to take your profits. Now, if you look at XRP, and you'll see is in some of the next few slides, we actually took some profits on that, even though we believe it will continue to go up. Two things we don't know. We don't know when a 30 to 50, maybe even 50 to 80% correction comes back. So we want some money sitting on the sidelines, ready to redeploy during these times. And will we miss out on everything that's like, oh, perfect timing? We're not worried about perfect timing. Our whole philosophy has been that we want to be able to sleep at night. Right now, we have way more money in the bank than when we started. So that's a great thing. And hopefully you have more money in the bank. Hopefully you're not worried. Hopefully you have a little dry powder. You're ready for the next leg of this thing. So like if you've been following XRP, we just started this maybe 4 weeks ago, 5 weeks ago, and we were buying in around 50 cents, and it's currently at 269. So that's 5 times our money. And so you'll see that we took some profit. Now, again, we want to let it run as long as we can, but you have to have conviction. Where do we think it ends? Where do we think, at this point, we had originally said by 3/1 of 2025 that we wanted to be 5 times our money. We currently are 5 times our money. So again, I think there's a lot of people that might hold it and then watch it go all the way down. So we're just not that group. You do what you want to do. And again, we've been calling these since August of 23. Okay. So what I did here was I started to put together something like, oh, how would I exit if I was going to exit? So, so we think that ETH will make its run after Bitcoin kind of hits about 110,000. And oops, sorry, I think I okay, yeah. And so where do we think we'd start to exit? So we started buying this and this price. I don't know what is going on with my sorry, is our starting price was 22.41 on ETH. And we said we think that it can go all the way to. At that point, we were thinking, 4 to 6,000. So that was going to be double plus our money. And remember, we were going for 2 to 3 times. We think. I mean, there's some people thinking it can go all the way to 10 to 11,000. So I put that in there, and I put that we will do our last 10% there. But at 4,000, we'll sell our first 5%. At 6,000, we'll sell another 15. This, take a screenshot if you want, tells you at least a plan. And what you should do is look at this plan, decide if it's realistic or not. If it's not, change your percentage in here, and now you have your own plan. And that's all we're really after. Same with Sol. And you'll see we just did this with DOT. You'll see we hit for the first time, we hit this first number. So here we are with DOT at $9. We sold out 5%. And so what we want to do is we want to have some conviction, because at $10 and at our starting price of 478, we're already 2 times our money. And again, you'll see I put 2, 3, 4, and 5 times our money, so that we know where we're going and what we're doing. Adam, the exact same thing. I just put these in here so that you guys would have some barometer of like, what do we think a good exit plan is? This is layering out the same way we layered in. You remember, we were buying some of these at under $4. So this is our starting price, our cumulative price. But we think that there's plenty of chance for these to run. This could be a 5x all the way to $25. How long do you want to hold? What do we thought somewhere around this December 20th was we were going to hit some of these numbers, but that was when we were looking at 2 to 3 times our number. And so for the bull run, we've added to that because we feel like we're in the bull run now. And so again, these are all up to you. You put in your percentage, you put in your numbers, and then you decide where you're going to be. XRP, you see we sold. So we've sold 20% of our position at 4 times our money. That is, in my opinion, look, I think XRP is going to go crazy, and so if you just wanted to hold and you make more money here, I totally get it. My difference is I think there'll be a pullback for XRP, maybe around 325 or something like that, all the way back down to that $2. If we have 20% of our money sitting there, we're going to buy that back in at $2, and then we're going to double that money. That's our plan. Again, you decide on your plan. And the same way with Jasmine. This is the one we probably think has the most potential out of all of these. And so, there's some people saying it's going to go to $1. We have a lot of Jasmine because we like the Internet of Things. We like the fact that they're into security. We think that as XRP and some of these other groups start putting more and more Internet of Things together, that Jasmine will be right in the middle of that. And we think, eventually maybe in 2025, 2026, we think it could hit $1. But right now we're looking at maybe by 3/1, maybe being up to 50 cents if everything goes according to plan. You got to decide what your plan is. Okay, one of the things you're going to see here is that we moved XRP from our 5% to our 20%. And part of the reason we did is if you look at these numbers here, and why do we even have a percentage ball? You want to make sure that, like, say XRP just went 5 times our money. Well, it's great that it went 5 times our money. But if we decide, this is too risky, and say it's in the 5%, we either have to sell out so we don't have that risk, or we have to move it saying we think their lawsuit's over. We think it's less risk. So we moved it from a 5% to 20%. And now, like, where else are we going? Most of this you can just read, you can not read, you can do whatever you want. But really, what we're after is where are we in the cycle, and what are we doing right now? We're kind of sitting on our hands, except for the things that I've already shown you, where we've taken profits on XRP. Why did we do that? Because it hit the number that we had our conviction on. My version is I don't care what your number is, just have conviction on it and then live or die with those consequences. I did want to show this. You can see we have three different time periods in here, right? From 11.5 to 12.2. And you can see that, Prime has doubled in that time frame. Um, uh, Filecoin has doubled in that time frame. And Link has doubled in that time frame. So this is just like, these were some extra coins for you guys to look at. Now, one thing I will tell you is if you look at Carrot, which we like, right, it's only up 20%. We think that's got a ways to go. So if you're thinking, oh, I missed all of these 2X's, right, then is there anything left? Well, in my opinion, Carrot hasn't caught up to it. So Carrot's in gaming, and gaming is going to be part of this run. So again, you guys decide what you want to do. But I wanted to show, some of these have doubled since 11.5. This is where we said this was going to happen, right about this time. Now we're going to go into the election. We're going to go, the election's done, but we're going to go into the inauguration. We're going to go into a pro-crypto president who we think is going to pump some of this. And then we think over the next 4 or 5 months, there's going to be 3 or 4 times that it's going to drop by 30% or more. When it does, we want to have money sitting there, buy it back up, and then get back into the game. We're now in the belief, moving on to Thrill. I think people are starting to get very excited about where we are. We no longer are farming as much until we hit one of these 30% dips. Then we'll be back to farming. We're still accumulating with what we have. We're not really buying much any given week. We did buy a few things this week, if you notice, if you go back through the circles. And then we're just trying to keep it diversified. We've got plenty of different things, from the Internet of Things to finance to layer 2s, and layer 1s. So again, what do you feel like is out there that you want to be having? Do you think ETH is about to make a big move? A lot of people do. We think it's going to be okay, but we think it's more the XRPs and the dots and those that are going to make the move. Okay. I would love it if you'd smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, let other people know about it if you think it's something that's worthwhile, and just be safe out there. Watch your coins. Do not fall for any scams of airdrops and all these other things. Don't connect your wallet to anyone at any time. Don't, anyone that's asking you for money, I personally stay away from. This channel is totally free, not asking you for anything. Just hit the like button is what I need. So I appreciate it. I hope you guys are killing it in this run. We got a long way to go, I think. So we're doing well. If you had to buy something this week, Super, I think, is still a great buy. I think Matic is still a good buy. I think Carrot's still a good buy. But you decide what you have conviction in, the sectors you have conviction on, and go from there. So signing off from Crypto Corner. We'll talk to you guys again next week.